Dumelang Sheni Ralucha Sanwanani Mulweni. My name is Naledi Mfoloe, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to the latest edition of the African Diaspora News channel, where we unravel the stories that shape our world and our communities. Now, in a recent interview, Dr. Umar Johnson made headlines by suggesting that Black women are only interested in the finished product of a man's success, while white women, or as he puts it, snow bunnies, are most likely to invest in a Black man's potential and vision. Now, these comments have actually sparked a wave of response across social media, with many people questioning his views on relationships, race, and the expectations placed on Black men and women, right? Now, before we dive in, let me say this, right? Dr. Umar Johnson is a figure who is both admired and criticized in equal measure. His views on race, education, and Black empowerment have resonated with many, but also has a history of making statements that are not only controversial but often polarizing. And this recent comment, in which he suggests that snow bunnies, his term for white women, right, are more likely to invest in a Black man's progress, while Black women supposedly only want the finished product, is one of those comments, right? Now, as a Black South African, I have to say I'm not only uncomfortable with the way Dr. Johnson framed this, but I also feel a certain level of irresponsibility in how he portrays Black women and Black relationships. I mean, his comments, I believe, reduce complex dynamics to overly simplistic and, frankly, damaging stereotypes. I mean, to suggest that Black women aren't willing to support Black men in their journeys, or that they only want the finished product of a man's success, feels unfair, right? I mean, especially when we consider the historical and social context that Black women have had to navigate. I've seen firsthand the resilience, the strength, and the nurturing spirit that Black women bring to the communities and families. I mean, Black women in South Africa and across the globe, right, have always been at the forefront of social movements, of economic progress, and the day to day struggles of survival in a world that constantly undermines them. So the idea that they are somehow uninterested in investing in Black men's progress is not only inaccurate, but ignores the very real ways in which Black women have historically held things together for their families, for their communities, and for their partners. Let's have a look at this video.
A big difference between the snow bunny and the African queen is the snow bunny will find a Black man in progress. She will find him on the job. She will find him on the university. And that snow bunny will see a Black man with potential, and she will invest in him. She will help him level up. And then when the sisters see him 5 years ago, 5 years later, he's a millionaire, and the sisters say, look at that sellout. He went and got a white girl. But guess what? When he was looking for a sister to help him level up, to invest in him, none of them wanted it. You know why? Too many Black women want a finished product. Black women have to, stay with me. Black women have to stop expecting men to be a finished product. It's harder on us. Help him level up. Stay with me. Help him level up and become what you need him to be. Because the big reason why these snow bunnies are running off with Black men is they're meeting them when they have nothing, but they believe in their vision. And Black women are waiting for him to cross the finish line. And by the time he crosses the finish line, the snow bunny then snatched him off.
Now, Dr. Johnson's statements about white women or snow bunnies supposedly being more willing to invest in a Black man's vision also raises some troubling questions about race dynamics. I mean, his framing of this relationship seems to fall into the narrative of the white savior, as if white women are somehow more inclined to see the potential in Black men, while Black women are positioned as only interested in the final product. Now, this line of thinking is not only reductive, but also perpetuates harmful stereotypes about both Black men and white women. And let's not forget, right, the reality of interracial relationships, I believe, is far more complicated than Dr. Johnson's simplistic view suggests, right? Yes, there are historical and social dynamics that influence how people perceive each other across racial lines. However, to suggest that white women are somehow more generous or invested in Black men's progress than Black women are, is honestly a narrow perspective, and I believe it denies the many ways in which Black women, despite the barriers they face, continue to build with and uplift and support Black men and the broader Black community, right? And this type of rhetoric can be quite damaging to both Black women and Black men. And I believe it implies that Black love, Black partnership, and Black families are inherently broken or incomplete. And this kind of narrative does not empower us, it divides us. It plays into the same divisive tropes that have been used to in centuries to actually undermine the Black community as a whole. And for what? To further an agenda that pits Black women against Black men. And look, right, the reality is no one relationship, whether interracial or same race, can be reduced to a single sweeping narrative. Every relationship, I believe, is unique to dynamics shaped by mutual respect and shared vision and support. And Black men and women should be allowed to build together without the unnecessary barriers of divisive rhetoric. And I believe there are plenty of Black women out there who have stood by their partners through thick and thin, who have invested in their growth, their dreams, and their successes. And in the end, right, so we need to move away from the narratives that divide us and move towards narratives that empower and unite us. Black love, Black relationships are not a zero-sum game. We should be supporting one another, uplifting each other, and building together without falling into the trap of stereotypes and divisive statements. Now, Dr. Umar Johnson's comments may have come from a place of frustration and concern for Black men, I don't know, but they fail to recognize the powerful and enduring contributions of Black women in the success of Black communities. And it's time for us to stop choosing sides and actually start choosing love and unity. What are your thoughts on this? Please, let's continue the conversation in the comments section. We really want to hear from you. And while you're at it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet again.